Yeah, man. Okay, so let me get Isaiah 11 and 11. All right, because like I said, man, the Israelites are going to be delivered. All right, from each part of the world where they are at the moment. All right, just like they were delivered in the time of Egypt. Now it's going to be the same type of deliverance, just in a different captivity. Okay, this is Isaiah 11 and 11, and it reads, "And it shall come to pass in that day that the Lord shall set his hand again the second time to recover the remnant of his people, which shall be left from Assyria and from Egypt and from Pathros and from Hamath and from the islands of the sea." All right. So the Most High is going to deliver us from all these different places. All right. All right. So the Most High is going to deliver us from all these different places where we were scattered. Huh? Okay. The reason being is because we're his people, man. That's the reason, man. Because he put his name upon Israel. So he's not going to allow Israel to be in a low state forever. All right. He's going to eventually glorify Israel as it is written. All right. And he shall set up an ensign for the nations and shall assemble the outcasts of Israel and gather together the dispersed of Judah from the four corners of the earth, man. All right, so when it's speaking about these other nations, it's not speaking about actual heathens, man. All right, speaking about Israelites that are in these different lands surrounded by these heathens, all right? That might even look like these heathens, but they're Israelites, okay? The Most High ain't gonna deliver no Moabite, man. But that goes back to the law. The law says that a Moabite shall not enter into the congregation of the Lord for the 10th generation, man. All right? All right? Which means never, man. Said he shall not enter to the congregation of the Lord even until the 10th. Matter of fact, I'll get it, man. All right? What's that? Remember where that was. All right? But that proves to you that the Most High is not dealing with all nations, man. That all nations can't be delivered. All right? This is Deuteronomy 23 and 3, man. And this cuts the whole Christian nonsense that Levi was pastor was preaching, man. It cuts all that nonsense, man. All right, because according to this, the Most High will never accept a Moabite into his congregation. All right, or Ammon. All right, this is Deuteronomy 23, verse 2. A bastard shall not enter to the congregation of the Lord, even to his 10th generation shall he not enter into the congregation of the Lord. An Ammonite or a Moabite, all right, that's being specific about nations, man. An Ammonite or Moabite shall not enter into the congregation of the Lord, even to their 10th generation shall they not enter into the congregation of the Lord forever, man. All right, so the Lord said what? He's not gonna accept. That's the spirit. You have some Ammonites and some Moabites passing right now. All right, so the whole point is that the Most High is not dealing with all nations. So when he's speaking about Gentiles and all this in the New Testament, it's talking about Israelites that have lost their heritage, lost their way. All right, it's not speaking about actual heathens, man. Okay, you ain't gonna allow no Ishmaelite into the congregation, man, because their spirit ain't right, man. Our spirit, the Israelites, was made to be the righteous people, man. Okay? So that's the whole point. That's the proof that the Most High ain't dealing with all these nations. All right? Let me get Jeremiah. Okay, this is Jeremiah, it's 17 verse 4, and it reads, "And thou even thyself shall discontinue from thine heritage that I gave thee, and I will cause thee to serve thine enemies in the land which thou knowest not. For ye have kindled a fire in mine anger, which shall burn forever, man. Alright, so the Most High said what? Excuse me. Let me read that again, alright? Because he said what? We're going to lose our heritage, man. Alright? He said that to Jeremiah, which that never happened to Jeremiah. Alright? Jeremiah always knew he was an Israelite to the day he died, man. Alright? He always knew he was an Israelite. When did Jeremiah lose that fact? It was in this time, man. Alright? Let me read that one more time. And thou, even thyself, shall discontinue from thine heritage that I gave thee, and I will cause thee to serve thine enemies in the land which thou knowest not. For ye have kindled a fire in mine anger, which shall burn forever. All right, so that's what happened to the Israelites. The Israelites have lost their heritage, man, going back to the time of slavery and all that. All right, under the hand of these devils, man. All right, but the Most High said what? He's going to gather us back and destroy these devils, man, and put them under us. All right, that's the new thing. Okay. That's why when the so-called black people came into slavery, when you look at their names when they first came over, they were Hebrew names, man. The reason they were Hebrew names are because we are Hebrew Israelites, man. All right. How come they weren't African names? They were Hebrew names, man. All right. And that's why they separated us on the West Coast from the rest of the so-called native Africans, man, because we're two different people. All right? So that's the whole point. But the Most High said what? That you're going to discontinue from your heritage. All right? And he's going to cause us to serve our enemies, which goes back to Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter. Okay? Where he said what? Matter of fact, let me get Deuteronomy 28:64. Okay? Okay? This is Deuteronomy 28. Right, verse 64, and it reads, and among, matter of fact, I'm going to start at verse 15 just to show them the point, all right? But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy power, to observe and to do all his commandments and his statutes which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee. Cursed shalt thou be in the city, and cursed shalt thou be in the field. All right? So it's going into all the curses that would happen to the Israelites if they did not hearken into the voice of the Lord, which we did. All right? That's why we're in the condition that we're in right now. All right? And the Lord shall scatter thee. This is verse 64 now. And the Lord shall scatter thee among all people from the one end of the earth even unto the other. And there thou shalt serve other gods, which neither thou nor thy fathers have known, even wood and stone. All right. So the scripture says what? We are going to serve other gods, all right, which neither us nor our fathers have known, even wood and stone. All right. Which means that we would be following the heathen, man. Okay. We'd be living amongst the heathen, and eventually, if we're laying with the heathen women, our children are going to start to look like the heathen. All right. That's a part of the mystery of the Gentiles, man. All right. Neither shall the sole of thy foot have rest, Salakia. And among these nations shalt thou find no ease, neither shall the sole of thy foot have rest. But the Lord shall give thee there a trembling heart, and failing of eyes, and sorrow of mind. And thy life shall hang in doubt before thee, and thou shalt fear day and night, and shalt have none assurance of thy life. All right, so that's what happened to our people, man. All right, and I always bring it up. That's what it shows you in the movie 12 Years a Slave, man. Okay. All right, that's what it shows you in the movie 12 Years a Slave. All right, it showed you how he went out to go get something for the master or whatever, right? And he basically he had the tag or whatever on his neck, And he seen while he was walking to go get that, he seen a bunch of Israelites, a bunch of Jakes getting hung. All right. At the same time while he was getting that, so what? He was in fear. It showed the fear that he had on him. You know what I'm saying? So then when they found out he had that on him, so they were like, okay, they kind of let him go, but they kind of wanted to just do the same thing to him. All right? Which shows you how Jake was living, especially back then in slavery, man, in chattel slavery. All right? We're still in slavery to this day. All right? Right? So the difference is now Jake, when the police pulls up behind him, now Jake gets nervous. Okay? Jake be getting nervous. Now they get stiff. They stiffen up. Even if they don't have nothing. Even if they didn't do nothing. You know? That's to show you that what? You have no assurance of thy life. Okay? Alright. In the morning thou shalt say, would the Most High it were even. And at even thou shalt say, would the Most High it were morning. For the fear of thine heart wherewith thou shalt fear, and for the sight of thine eyes which thou shalt see. Alright? So that's it, man. So that's what happened. That's what the Most High did. And that's why he's going to have to gather us from all these different places on the planet Earth, man. Because we've been scattered. Okay? And going back to what?